Welcome to Six Figs, baby. Now, today's video, we're going to be demoing my chart software that allows me to make these predictions 2 weeks out in advance, whether it's a simple reversal, momentum change, things like that. This software picks up on it, and we'll talk all about that in just a second. But we're also going to be talking about mining disrupt and how I was in Dallas, Texas, Irving area for the Mining Disrupt conference. Nervos Network had a booth there, and I was just fully engaged with Nervos. I was helping people out at the booth. I helped set up the booth. I was running around doing all sorts of interviews, and really we made some solid connections and created mass visibility at this conference for Nervos Network. I think what was brilliant about the move Nervos made to have a proof of work blockchain, their blockchain, at a mining event was absolutely critical, because Nervos Network was the only proof of work blockchain at this mining conference where they were able to capitalize on exposure, because there were no other blockchains at this mining conference. I feel like miners get left out by a lot of these chains, and they're a big part of how the chain operates, processes transactions, and things like that. So it was really huge. And we covered so much ground. We got so many interviews. I was helping set up the Nervos booth. I was manning the Nervos booth, telling people all about Nervos Network. It was great to connect with all these people. And like I said, guys, we absolutely killed it. So Mining Disrupt was 100%. Everybody worked their asses off at this event to make it happen. We're going to get into that in just a second. And here's a prime example of how people were working their asses off. We had T-Rexes running around in costumes with Nervos Network shields and swords. We had huge shout out, by the way, to Bitcoin Renegade, baby. He was on the forefront, dressed as a Roman emperor king or something, going around the conference with these T-Rexes. And we got some great visibility and really did so without even causing a scene. It was really good engagement from everybody. The phones just came out and started recording. It was unbelievable. So thanks to the T-Rexes and Jeff, Bitcoin Renegade, he absolutely killed it. And he literally put everything on the line for Nervos Network. So if this doesn't deserve a follow for Bitcoin Renegade, you need to unfollow me. Because this guy, we're lucky to have him as a community member. He gave it 150%, 167%, baby. So yeah, tip of the hat to Jeff, man. This was what the booth looked like, and I actually they were going to get rid of this, so I absconded with the backdrop, and it's now hanging on my wall. It's one of the most beautiful backdrops, I think. It's so beautiful that I get to wake up to it and see Run CKB every morning when I wake up. Before I go to bed, the banner just kisses me on the head and I sleep flawlessly. So this thing is really cool to hang on the wall. So yeah, it was a great time. Also, follow Miggy CryptoX on X. Great guy, great marketing personality, social media expert. I think that this was the first time I got to touch grass with him in real life, but I've known him for quite some time. So shout out to Miggy as well. What was this? This is one of the more humbling experiences of the trip. And this is the second time that I can recall getting recognized, other than like being at just, other conventions. But this was the second time. The first time I believe was at Decentral in Miami, and I get recognized there from somebody that was watching my videos, and I can't tell you how humbling it is and how appreciative I was that this gentleman watches my videos. And I'm sorry I forgot your name, but yeah, I had a long walk from to my gate, and it was like a half a mile long, and all of a sudden I hear Six Figs, and oh my goodness, what's going on? And this gentleman here came rolling up in his cart and gave me a ride to my gate, bought him some coffee, and we had some coffee on the way. And he showed me the whole airport. Like, I still had time to kill, so it was like wonderful. Big shout out to this guy. Nervos Nation, guys. Nervos Nation is posting about a new bounty alert. So if you know any developers, you can send them on over to ckbrewards.org and you can earn CKB. And what's really cool about this is there's a lot of developers out there that might be looking for a chain to build on. You benefit and they'll benefit. So with that said, I'll link to this in the description. If you know any developers, just follow the guidelines and you'll get some free CKB. What else could you ask for? I noticed this post that Nervos retweeted by Steve Crusher. Steve Crusher, baby. What a cool last name that is. Now, I got into some really deep interviews at Mining Disrupt, and I sat down with Matt, who is the director of the Nervos Foundation. We talked in depth about quantum computers and threats that these computers will have to blockchains. Sphinx Plus is a feature within the Nervos CKB blockchain where it allows for preventing these quantum attacks. And I did a great video on this, which I'll link at the end screen. So just click that if you want to learn more about it, because it's some really serious stuff. And the fact of the matter is, this was architected into the Nervos blockchain back in 2017, 2018, when they were building it. They were thinking about quantum computer threats even back then. So to have this be still relevant today is huge. What's going to happen when all these other chains realize they're getting attacked by quantum computers? They're going to be forced to move. And by that time, damage is going to be so done. It's going to be crazy. But what's great about Nervos is that the developer can just deploy quantum resistant code or features to prevent quantum attacks at any given time. And they have been able to do so for the last few years. So this is absolutely great to see. Now, check out Token Tracker, guys. This is free. It allows you to track your portfolio. Whether you're in the Nervos community, Ethereum community, BNB, you can just click on whatever chain you're on or interested in, and you can go ahead and find all these great tokens within that chain, add them to your portfolio, and track things. Now, it's just totally great, and it's free, like I said. So off to the races, guys. We are going to be talking about this tech that I've designed and built, and I can't get into how it works because it's all proprietary and it's just absolutely insane. So this predicts market movements. And if you've been following my X at Real Six Fig, you'll see how for the last few months, I've been predicting out 2 weeks in advance market moves. Say, hey, watch for a reversal on this date 2 weeks out. And guess what? Down to the hour in some cases, down within the day, like 4 hours, you will see that reversal happen or market momentum pick up at certain times. It's an incredible tool. And I think I'm going to charge $9.99 for this because at the end of the day, I would pay $9.99 a month to know about key dates when price action is going to happen. You could be looking at a rising wedge or a falling wedge or a cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders pattern, whatever pattern you're looking for. And when you start to see, for example, we'll just go a rising wedge. That's a bearish pattern, right? And so if you're seeing a reversal point towards the end of a rising wedge, you'll know that it's probably coming. So with that said, trying to forward think the markets as much as you can has always been a strategy of mine. For those of you that have watched my channel for a long time, you know this. I'm always trying to predict what's going to happen before everybody else. And this is a tremendous edge for you as a trader. Now, the way this works, and we'll talk about this bearish butterfly that's on the charts in just a moment. But the way this works the best is we pick swing high, swing lows, things like that. And I've made this stupid simple. I have refined this to an art form to allow people to just simply type in the date, and the software will do all sorts of crazy things behind the scenes. And I'm thinking about trying to figure out a way where I'll charge $9.99 a month, but I'll also cut people a break. If, for example, they lock up 50,000 or 100,000 CKB in the Nervos network DAO, then maybe they'll get 25% off, and or something like that. So we'll have to. I'm still trying to strategize on the best way I'm going to do this, but there's going to be an incentive for CKB holders to use this software and get a discount. But getting back to this, looks like there was a nice swing high, swing low somewhere September 13th, September 14th. It's ideal to get the best time frame that you possibly can, or the best date. So like right here, I can tell that this candle on the 13th was the high. So what we're just going to go ahead and do is type in 9/13/2025, and the step size in minutes, we'll just go to 7. I like 7. And we'll go to CKB, boom, and we'll calculate these events. So the way it works here is it'll feed you a ton of data, right? And let's just go ahead, and so this is the point that we measured right here. Now let's just look at some other point in times where there was significant reversals, things like that, right here. So we'll look at September 25th, and it'll give you a whole bunch of stuff. And September 25th at 21:26 hours, and this is UTC time, bullish or bearish momentum will start building. So let's just go ahead and look at this timestamp and this date. So 21:26, and we'll just go to like an hour chart. So 21:26. And you can see here how, here's 2100. So within a couple hours, this software predicted that there was going to be some bullish momentum that would kick off. Now, if you're leverage trading or something like this, this is absolutely huge, because we saw a very nice pump, about 9%. And if you're at 3x leverage, well, that's almost a 30% gain. So you can see how well this stuff works. And around October 10th, we'll just go somewhere in there, the software did detect that bullish, bearish momentum would start building at, let's see, looks like about, we'll just go 9 a.m. So October 10th, 9 a.m., again, down to a couple hours here, there was that huge sell-off that happened. Now, I do think that this sell-off was going to happen regardless, but I don't think that we are going to go down quite as low as we did, simply because there was some other manipulative things that were happening supposedly by Binance. But they knew about this, and I think I've cracked the matrix when it comes to pulling data, trying to figure out how these exchanges are setting up the markets in advance to pump and dump. So with that said, let's just kind of look at maybe some other data points, just so you guys can just see how well this works. There's a nice reversal. Let's just go October 14th. Let's see if there was anything for October 14th. There wasn't anything for October 14th, but on the 13th at 1812, they were saying that there was going to be some volatility. So let's just see what that looks like. On the 13th at 1812, there was going to be some volatility. So, I mean, you could see that volatility did come in, and we saw the price pump and dump. So this was definitely an area of interest. October 17th, 8 a.m. Let's see if there was anything there. October 17th at, we'll just go noon, there was a momentum peak area possibly detected. So October 17th at noon. Okay, so again, within a couple hours, we were able to figure out that there was a momentum peak area, meaning that the momentum was going to either bottom out or top out. And that's kind of what we saw. We saw a very nasty sell-off, and really, we saw that this predicted that this was going to be an area, within a few hours, that things were starting to kind of bottom out. Let's just fast forward to today's date and time, and we'll just run one more test. So we'll run it at on the November 4th. And what we'll do is we'll just go 11-4. Boom. Okay. And what is really cool about this, guys, is that I've got something to generate a chart for you so that you can kind of look at an event chart with arrows and all sorts of color-coded stuff. So it's really, really nice. But when we look at this, we could tell that we went off, what did I say, November 4th. So this was the data point we measured right here. Let's just see if there was anything else. So it said that on the 5th, there was going to be a market low or high and a reversal point. So that was at 1316. We'll just go 1300. So, okay. So here was the reversal point, kind of price was kind of coming down and then reversed to the upside. So we had this clobbering of selling pressure. Boom, it broke out to the upside. But now let's take a look at what we have to look forward to, because it is now the 17th of November UTC time, 2 a.m. And when it comes down to it, we're going to see on November 20th a market low or high and possibly a reversal point. And when I look at this and hope that we see this bearish butterfly kind of pull its weight to the upside, they call it a bearish butterfly because price action plummets here from B to C, and then price comes up and then dumps. So I would say that we have a solid chance at maybe running up to around, let's just go to like a 12-hour chart here, right up to around this 0.004-ish cent level. And I think this is accurate. And we could be seeing some crazy things happen within, maybe, let's just go back to our little chart here. November 24th, it says bullish bearish momentum is starting to build. So we'll just put this up here, and maybe we'll see the top around this 4 cent area, or 4 cent. I wish it was 4 cent. That would be great. But at 0.004 cents, somewhere in there, maybe we'll see price action come up and actually kind of meet this 200 moving average somewhere in here. I'm hoping we get this pump rather soon. On this 12-hour chart, we could also make the argument that maybe there could even be some sort of a falling wedge squeeze, which is pretty bullish to see. We've got some data points to confirm this, some candlesticks and things like that. But this is my prediction for the next few days going into the 24th. So roughly the next 8 days. We're going to be studying this to see what happens. And this is just one of those beautiful examples where if you are a trader, right, you can use, if you're good at patterns and harmonics, you can use this data to really help you. And the fact that this tech said November 16th 3 a.m., we're going to see a momentum peak area. Here's the 16th, right. Yeah, let's go back to that 1 hour chart. So 16th at, we'll just call it 4 a.m. Right in here. They were saying that it was a momentum peak area, which, I don't know. It's not 100% bulletproof, but it is what it is. But when it comes down to the reversals and things like that, it's very accurate. So it is what it is. But I think that when you combine this technology with pattern trading and things like that, that's where things get really interesting and allow you to really succeed and excel as a trader. So it could be that we are gearing up to see the price go lower as well. Maybe we're going to see somewhat of an inverse head and shoulders pattern like this occur. We'll have to just wait and see, guys. Like, this isn't magic. It's as close to magic that I could get to. And this software is remarkable, to say the least. So with that, I'm very happy to debut this to you guys. It's something I've been working on for a long time. It's something that I've been doing on pen and paper, Excel spreadsheets for a long time, kind of off the camera. But right now, we're going to check this out. We'll stop back in for a video in the next few days. I've been moving my studio the last week and a half as well. So that's why I haven't really been making videos. And I was down in Texas with Nervos, so I finally got my studio set up in my new office. So I'm bullish, guys. I'm super bullish on the markets. And I can remember back in 2021 when Nervos was at like 4.5 cents. And we were looking back months earlier, and the price were at these levels. I just remember thinking how lucky these people were to get in at these levels. So I think that this isn't financial or trading advice, obviously, but I think that these are good prices to be getting in at. And I know this has been a brutal, absolutely terrible last 4 years for everyone, myself included. But we'll just have to hang in there. So I love you all, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.